Consider with me just for a moment what a difficult job it is to be a mom. They have to teach their children a list of do's and don'ts that is impossibly long. Wash behind your ears, say please and thank you, don't burp at the table. There's just so many things they have to teach us. But the most important things that we need to learn don't fit on those lists of do's and don'ts. The most important things that they can teach us as we grow and become our own person, as we become people who follow Jesus Christ, as we hopefully become people who are loving and kind and generous and forgiving. There is no list that can teach us exactly how to do all those things. And yet mothers are the ones who go and lead us in that way. Consider these words from the book of Galatians, the 5th chapter. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There's no law against such things. And those who belong to Christ Jesus have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. If we live by the Spirit, let us also be guided by the Spirit.
Well, Richie, my oldest, will be 40 this year. So that's kind of a milestone for me to imagine that I have a 40-year-old. Anne is 37. Chris is 35. And then my grandchildren, Taylor's 13. Alan is 11. Claire will be 10 Saturday. She was born on Mother's Day. And Sarah will be 9 in October. Goes by very quickly when you get to the grandchildren. But I'm fortunate, and Ann and Richie and TJ and Tim are all very good at nurturing my grandchildren, and that's very important to me. Yeah, I think being a grandmother is one of the greatest joys and blessings anyone can ever experience. And I said, you kind of take this bundle that's a miracle, and you watch it grow into a being and develop a personality and kind of watch them discover who they are. And they do it with such joy and abandonment and excitement. And I said, I think you really, as a grandparent, get to really experience that more so even than you do with your own children, because you're not all kind of wrapped up in the anxiety of being a parent of, am I doing the right thing, and so. The thing that I thought about a lot this week is, as a mother, what a balancing act it is when you are making your own journey of faith and not imposing your journey on your children's journey, but how you need to let them discover their own path. And I think that's pretty personal to each person, and it's kind of hard sometimes when you want things to be a certain way, or there's certain things you want to give them, and you realize that they really have to do that in their own time, and in their own manner, and at their own pace. And as they get older, as my children are, I think you see that. I think you begin to see their faith and their spirituality, and it's a blessing to be able to see that in your children. I lost my mom a long time ago, in 1987, so I have been without my mom for a long time. But her best friend kind of just stepped right in when I lost my mom, and was always very supportive of what I did, although she would yank and knot my tail when I needed it. And I lost her last July. And Richie and Ann were both out of town. Richie was out of town for business, and Ann and her family were on vacation. And so we had the visitation at the funeral home. And Chris came there, and I knew that he would come. because he knew all the family, and this woman's daughter had babysat for him when he was little and that kind of thing. And so I realized that he was kind of there longer than I thought he would be there. And so I kind of said, oh, well, you know, thanks, I really appreciate you coming, and it means a lot, you know, to share in the family. And he goes, oh, that's okay. And I said, well, I don't want you to feel like you have to hang around, because, you know, it's not the thing that most young men like to do, and hang out with a bunch of old people. And he said, no, that's okay. I think I'll hang around for a while. And I said, okay. And so I noticed throughout the evening, as I was visiting with different groups of people, he was always close by. And I finally realized that, I am going to be emotional, I realized that he was there to take care of me. You know, and so I can see God, you know.